Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So more details are coming out about George Santos and his funding, and it's not good. Just going to give you that spoiler alert. There's also been a complaint filed against him to the Federal Election Commission, and his local party wants him gone. There's also another bizarre, totally unnecessary lie that's been shared. So first, his growing funding issue. It was just revealed that Santos received a $500 donation from an Italian who has confessed to smuggling immigrants into Florida. The guy's name is Rocco Appadisano. And in 2009, Appadisano was stripped of his permanent resident status in the U.S. after he was busted for having firearms, pills, and cocaine located at properties that belonged to his brother Joseph. In 2019, Appadisano was actually kicked out of the U.S., and he was later arrested because he was caught with undocumented immigrants and $200,000 in cash on his yacht. This was as he was trying to smuggle these migrants into Florida. But it's Santos' dealings with his brother Joseph that might get him in even more trouble, because Santos appointed Joseph and his daughter Tina to his Small Businesses for Santos coalition. So Joseph and Tina run a New York restaurant. It's called Il Bacco. And Santos supposedly racked up tens of thousands of dollars in bills to this restaurant. Since he launched his 2020 campaign, he reports over $26,000 in spending at Il Bacco. How often can you eat at a restaurant that you spend over $26,000 over a 2-year period? And his most recent campaign filing shows that his campaign still owes them nearly $19,000 on top of the $26,000 for Santos' 2022 election night party. What makes these expenditures so suspicious is the dollar amount that's reported for some of the visits to this restaurant. More than half a dozen visits showed bills of $199.99. That exact amount. If those bills were $200 even or more, Santos would have had to retain receipts. So the fact that he's keeping it 1 penny under, he doesn't have to show anything. And there's other Santos-connected political action committees that also spent thousands of dollars at Il Bacco. And Joseph Appadisano and one other of his brothers donated money to Santos' campaign one day after he created this small business coalition. So not only did Santos accept money from a foreign national, which is in direct violation of campaign finance laws, but it also appears that he had some reason to hide his receipts from this restaurant, or maybe he just completely fabricated these expenses. So it was also just revealed that Santos' campaign staff member tricked donors, or at least wanted to. It's kind of unclear from the reporting if they followed through on this plan or if they were just talking about it, but they wanted to or did trick donors into sending money to Santos by impersonating Kevin McCarthy's chief of staff. On top of all of this, like I said, a Federal Elections Commission complaint was filed against Santos. This was just filed last week by a nonpartisan group called Campaign Legal Center. And they exposed some additional suspicious details about his finances. So, for example, Santos reported a $199.99 payment for a one-night stay at the West South Beach Hotel in Miami, Florida. And when this group researched that hotel, they found that the very least expensive room in the entire hotel on a weekday is $700 a night. And again, like I said, that $199.99 doesn't require Santos to retain proof or provide proof of that expenditure. The FEC complaint also noted that Santos used campaign donations to pay his rent, his personal rent. But Santos listed that personal expense as, quote, apartment rental for staff. So the FEC board will have to take a vote. They're going to have to determine if they want to take up this case and if they want to investigate further. Here's the problem. 4 out of 6 members of this board, of this committee for the FEC, will have to vote yes. As of right now, the board is evenly split along party lines, 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans. It's been this way for a while. And this group has become completely hyper-partisan since Donald Trump came on the scene. He appointed all 3 of the Republican members of this FEC committee. In March of 2022, I don't know if you guys remember this, but the Daily Beast reported that out of 43 FEC complaints filed against Trump for campaign violations, the 3 Republican members refused to look at a single complaint. They refused all 43 and said, nope, yeah, not something we want to take up. This was even though the, quote, internal nonpartisan office of general counsel found reason to believe that campaign finance violations had occurred in 22 of them. In every instance, the Republican commissioners voted to block action. So 22 out of 43 are being flagged as, yes, we believe that there are campaign finance violations here. And they went, nope. These are the same 3 Republican commissioners who refused to hold Trump accountable for that hush money payment to Stormy Daniels, to the porn star Stormy Daniels, and to Playboy model Karen McDougal. And his obvious financial involvement also with Cambridge Analytica was completely swept under the rug by them. So the question is, are they going to give Santos a similar pass? Now, my first thought was no, because unlike Trump, Santos doesn't have this massive base of support that can actually tank the Republican Party. However, given that the Republicans hold a super thin majority in the House right now because of their red trickle in the midterm, and the fact that Santos won in a Biden district, this district that was previously held by a Democrat, I don't know. I believe that maybe they're going to continue playing politics as usual and that they're probably going to refuse to investigate. So it's going to be up to the authorities and investigators, state and federal, to deal with this guy, to hold him accountable. And the good news is that the local Republican Party in his district has spoken out about his lies. They've actually renounced him as a party member. The Nassau County Republican Committee called for Santos to resign, and they said that he's no longer welcome at their meetings and their events. And they issued a statement saying that they, quote, do not consider him one of our congresspeople. He's not welcome here at Republican headquarters. And the committee chairman, a man named Joseph Cairo, he revealed another lie that Santos told him personally. Cairo told a news outlet, quote, he told me, I remember specifically, that he was into sports a little bit, that he was a star on the Baruch volleyball team, and they had won the league championship. And remember, Santos has already admitted he never even attended Baruch College. This guy is truly demented. So far, though, he's digging his heels in. He's saying he's not going to resign. And Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is seating him on committees. So I see this as a good and bad thing, to be honest. The good part is that the more lunacy and lies coming from the Republican Party over the next 2 years, the better it's going to be for Democrats in 2024. However, it also means that Democrats don't actually have to try too hard. They don't have to do much of anything for the American people to win votes. They can just simply point to the right and say, oh, there's your alternative. So things like this, the Republican Party in disarray and inmates in charge of the asylum allows the Democratic Party to be completely lazy. Anyway, I'll let you guys know if I hear any more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate or become a monthly supporter. Links are down below in the description box. Love you guys. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.